So, hello and thank you for watching this video. My name is Sebastian and with me I have Nicholas. Today we wanted to talk to you about a very important subject and one that is very often neglected in many of the businesses that we audit, and that's how to agitate and motivate prospects into buying sooner. So what does this mean and how can this help you? So basically, the biggest problem that we see businesses make is that they rely too heavily on making a sale on the first time someone visits their website.
Yeah.
And what this does, obviously, it creates a lot of issues for businesses that are often breaking even with their advertising. Because today we've spoken about this several times. High click costs, high competition means that it's very difficult to make money on the front end.
Yeah.
Particularly, once you add up all the advertisement costs at the end of the month. So businesses are coming to us and saying to us, how do we solve this problem?
Yeah.
And we're coming from a different angle. We're saying that businesses need to focus on getting more of what they have as opposed to getting more of what they got. So Nicholas and I, we've spent quite a bit of time having a chat with customers.
Yeah.
And realizing that what they're looking at, it's just focused on more traffic, and it's focused on getting better quality traffic. Now, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Right. If you say to us, Sebastian, how do you get us more traffic? Today in 2019, we're probably having a conversation that's a little outdated.
Yeah.
Right, because it's not about more traffic. We know that. So if we're talking about better quality traffic, then that's a better conversation.
That's right.
But there's another level on top of that, right? So when you've got more traffic and you've got better quality, is how do you get more out of that traffic? Exactly. So if you're getting 100 visitors to your site,
yeah,
and out of those 100 visitors, you're making 1 or 2 sales,
yeah,
how can we turn that into 2, 3, or 4, or 5 sales?
That's right. Yeah.
So that's basically what this video is about. And Nicholas and I will walk you through that. So basically, to start off with, let me give you a picture of what that looks like, so that maybe you can say, hey, that's us, or maybe, hey, that's not us. So essentially what happens is a lot of businesses quote on jobs.
Yep.
They quote on many jobs, and then they just sort of wait and see what happens, right? And we all know what happens. We don't end up getting a call back.
Yeah.
And that could be for many reasons. Number one, the project got delayed. The project was not high priority. You didn't convince them. You didn't do a good job. They don't believe you. So there's all these things that come into play.
Yeah.
So at best, what do you reckon our customers do? Maybe give them a call just to follow up on a quote or two?
That's a start.
That's a start. That would be good.
But you guys need to, as we said before, and excuse our French, you need to light a fire under their ass.
Correct.
To motivate them into buying. 21st century people are just buying on the first go, like you said before. Takes a lot of convincing. I know I take a lot of convincing when I'm purchasing anything these days. Doesn't matter how big the item is, and I guess when the value of the item goes up, the process of me, outlaying the cost goes up too. So I think that's the way we should be looking at it.
It's a combination of buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
And when the people that are watching these, typically it would be either a business owner.
Yeah.
Or it would be a marketing person.
Yeah.
Or maybe an admin person that's trying to get their knowledge up, right? So not so much for a business owner, but when a marketing person needs to make a decision,
yeah,
they are having to do it for the company. And when they're having to do it for a company, there's all of these buyer's remorse of getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Because if they get it wrong, their ass is on the line. Do you know what I mean? The same thing for you guys that are selling products to businesses.
Yeah.
B2B often will have a purchasing manager or store manager or foreman having to make that buying decision of buying this equipment, spending $100,000, only to realize that they got it wrong.
Yeah.
and then they're on the firing squad.
Yeah.
So we need to start thinking about this. We need to start thinking that number one, it's not enough to just give the person a call and say, how'd you go with that quote? You ready to go?
No.
Number two is that buying decision, like Nicholas said, he has, he delays his purchasing, and there's a reason for that. So what I've got here is often what businesses do wrong is they rely too heavily on the person that they're trying to sell to make up their mind.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, look, we've got here people. Number one, they're not very good at making decisions.
No, they're not. No.
That's not to insult anyone or to hurt anyone in any way. It's just purely saying that when it comes to making a buying decision, you have to look at things from many different angles.
I think because of the saturation in variety these days too, people just get scattered, and then they're overloaded with information. They just don't know which way to go. Back probably before my day as well, there was limited amounts of products, so it was either this one or that one, and you would, whichever business got it would win. But now there's 5, 6, 7, 10 times the businesses out there selling the same product. So
yeah, exactly. Nail on the head. So much choices, so much decisions to make. So we often just pull back and say, "I'll get to this later," and that never happens. So the next thing is they procrastinate. They put one thing on top of the other.
That's me.
I'll get to this, but first let me just put this on and work on this.
Yeah.
So, and what that does basically, it says that they don't think that the problem that they're dealing with, the purchasing decision that they have in front of them, is important enough.
It's not a high priority.
It's not a high priority. So these are the problems that we're working with, and we also got the big issue of what causes the buyers to delay. Is number one, we've got here the risk of the unknown. Right? They don't know what your product can do for them. They I don't know. Are they scared of making a mistake?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. If you're outlaying a lot of money, I would be too.
Correct. They're scared of making a mistake, and let's just be honest. If you go and buy a car and you ask the salesman person, "Is this car going to be good for me?"
Yeah.
They're going to say, "Sure it is."
Yeah.
So they don't know who to trust, and that's a big problem. Trust. So the other one is, it's quite simple. I mean, everyone has this issue. I don't want to go and pay $2,000 for this laptop only to find out that JB
$1,500 down the road, yeah.
and that's a big deal.
It
because like how often you go to your mates and you say, "Hey, I bought this car," and they're like, "How much?" And you want to hear how much of a good deal it was. You that's what we are programmed to work with today. The deal, the how much did you get? How good of a deal was it? So people will often delay and even get to the point where they've said, "Okay, fine, I'll buy it."
Yeah.
Only to then ring up another company to see if they can get it elsewhere cheaper.
It's true.
And this last one, Nick, I don't know if you feel like that, but
I have in the past. Which is risk of getting scammed. I think it is in the back of everyone's minds here and there. I guess not so much anymore, but it is there, and I think you need to make the customer feel as trusted as you can, being the business owner or the product service seller.
We audited a website the other day, and
Yeah.
we went and had a look at the contact us page to see if we could get some information about where they were, and we couldn't get that information.
No.
So I mean, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it. Xero is the accounting software that we use and hundreds of thousands of Aussies do. But you look at them and you think, well, they don't have a contact us page. They've got a support and they've got no telephone number. But can this be hindering you? Like, that might work good for Xero. They might have had the telephone number for the first 2 years of operation and then realise, you know what, we don't need this. So you need to try these things. You need to start thinking about all of these things. And scam is a big issue.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much for the younger generation.
Yeah.
But B2B businesses, corporates, big events, that type of thing. When your ass is on the line, you want to make sure all the pieces line up.
It runs smoothly. Yeah, I can understand.
So, what we have here is a list of 5 things that we think will be useful to get you to start thinking about motivating people to take action.
Yeah.
And this could be either done through various communications.
Yeah.
It could be done email,
Yeah.
website. It could be on your ad,
Yeah.
where you communicate this message, on your Facebook post,
Video.
So I guess we're coming to you with these 5 ideas, and we want you to start thinking about spreading them across your entire campaigns.
That's right. Yeah.
Not just an email.
Yeah.
So number 1, Nick, talk to us about how to motivate someone, how to agitate them to take action.
Yeah, so that's a good one, and what we're finding is the best way to do this is to resurface all the problems that you know is within your product or service, and how your product can either benefit them or how a customer can avoid a situation. And I'll give you an example of that, because not many businesses do it. They always focus on the benefit of motivating someone. Insurance company, for example, they don't focus on the fact of being covered all the time, right? They focus on the fact of what happens when you're not covered. And that seems to scare people into the fact of getting coverage.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen if you're not covered? You're going to have to pay 3-4 times the amount of what you would if you're covered by insurance. You're going to have to waste time on going through all the processes manually. It's not a smooth process. You're going to have to deal with all these third parties, and that's what they focus on really well, and that's what motivates someone to buy. If I'm sitting on my couch and I watch an ad just to get insurance of being covered, I don't feel agitated or motivated.
Yeah, it's like an ad coming up and saying, have peace of mind.
Yeah.
Go to the beach happy knowing that your car is safe. That's just utter crap.
Yeah.
What you're saying is voice all the problems that not having insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
It means you could be out of a job because now you're having to fork out all this money, or you could be out of eating for a month because you're having to fork out for all these issues now. So you're saying hit the avoid button as opposed to the gain.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can play on both sides, but I think the avoid button really motivates people into buying, and really lights that fire, like we said before.
And there was a study done, and I'd have to dig it up.
Yeah.
Harvard University done a study where they had 2 groups, and one group, they showed them advertisement was gain something out of buying this product.
Right.
Like, whatever, gain a better financial situation. And then in the other case, they actually said avoid losing money.
Yeah.
Right? Money that you're going to be losing. And they found that people would respond better to the avoid than the gain.
It's funny how that psychological factor works.
Yeah. And this works, like sometimes my wife, she will do whatever she can not to lose out.
Yeah.
Like if insurance company's got this wrong, they'll be on the phone and $100, but then I'm like, Lois, we can gain $1,000 by doing this. She'd be like, no, but I don't want.
You don't want to avoid that. Yeah. It's funny how psychologically it works. Yeah.
Yeah. So keep that in mind whenever you're doing your campaigns. Focus on the pain, the problem. Bring them all to surface.
A lot of businesses find it hard to surface multiple problems.
Yeah.
Well, what you guys need to start doing is listening to your customers. Feedback is the key in order to find these problems. See what customers are saying. It could be a small problem, and a lot of businesses shy away from customer feedback because they think we don't want to hear the negatives.
Yeah, exactly.
The negatives is what helps emphasize the positives.
Yeah, and helps them. That's the motivation that they need. That's the light under their backside that's going to get them to get off the couch, pick up the phone and call.
Yeah.
Right? So the more you can do that, the better.
Yeah.
So number 2, we got take away the risk. So when you buy something, the risk is on you because you're making the purchase. You're making that purchase. So clever companies, what they do is they take away the risk from the purchaser and they put the risk back on themselves. For instance, Apple, you buy a product, it suits you or it doesn't, take it back.
Yeah.
The more we can get this around our heads, the better we're going to get at marketing. The customer is scared of making the wrong buying decision. So what can we do? What do we got here, Nick? Maybe share some ideas with us.
Yeah, so we've got offer a 60, 90-day money-back guarantee. Give them that time or that period to test the product out, see if it suits their needs, and more likely than not, it's going to suit their needs. If you feel you've got a superior product and you're backing your product, it should not come back within the 90 days, but it gives them the option of feeling like they're not going to make a bad decision.
Exactly. If there's a money back guarantee, let's say for instance that they discover 10 days in that it wasn't for them, give them their money back.
Exactly.
And if you've lost a few sales, guess what? You've gained a lot more sales.
Yeah.
So for every 10 that you gain, you lose 3. That's okay. That's just the way business works.
It is, because it's going to hurt you in the long run if you don't give them their money back and then they go and tell their family, their friends.
Well said.
And that's where you lose more sales.
100% well said. You'd rather not have them as a customer to begin with, because then it's just going to cause you more grief later.
Exactly right.
Well said. So yeah, 60, 90-day guarantee. Another is a trial. I know, very similar, but if you can't offer a money back guarantee because it's a big equipment, you got to ship it to them and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't give them a money back guarantee. It doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
Offer them a trial.
Yeah.
Let them come to your factory. Let them play with the equipment for a day.
That's it.
Let them if it's a machine, let's say for instance it's a laser cutting machine, or a plasma cutting, or a water jet cutter, whatever it is, a printer, 3D printer, let them come to your store, let them cut out a part that they would normally do, and then let them get that feel. That's when you get that whole puppy, what is it? The dog shop gives the puppy away for a trial for 7 days to see if they bring. Nobody brings it back. No. I've got a dog. My kids straight away they fall in love. So same thing with this.
Yeah.
So number 3 is people don't want to feel alone, and this is a little strange, but people don't want to be the first to do anything. I'm quite the opposite. I want to try something and I want to, take the risk. But on average, generally, people don't want to be alone. So if you can help them out by letting them know that, hey, you are not alone, and others have come before you and others have succeeded, then they feel like, wow, I can let my guard down and relax. These people have got my back. They know what they're doing. That's why people pay money, and that's why people will be happy to pay money, because they feel like these people know what I'm going through. So there's really 1 or 2 ways you can overcome this. Nick, tell us, what do you do if you have a website and you want to try and relay to these people?
I think it comes down to social proof. That's one of the biggest. Testimonials, case studies, just really, leverage off people that have come to your business, used your product and liked it in the past. And I think another way to make them not feel alone, as we said, is offer them support.
Good
support
one.
Through warranties, support through Apple does Apple Care. And they've created a community where, if there's something wrong with your computer, you can go in there, you're going to get the best service. Turnaround time's quick, so you're not out of a computer, and it's not concerning your workload, etc. So I think creating that feel of you're going to have us as a business support you with the purchase of the product or service, that's another way to make them not feel alone.
Well said. I reckon if Apple was hearing these videos, we'd get it.
Hopefully one day we'll have
Marketing Lab, and we'd have Apple.
That would be nice.
We'd get promoted. Number 4 is people want, like I said before, people don't want to feel like they got ripped off, and they want to feel like they got the best deal. So this is this is one of those things where if you feel like your customer could have done better going elsewhere, where it might be a good idea for you to reevaluate of offering more service, more value.
Yeah.
Like I say, if a client of ours has an expectation of this much, I'm going to try and give them that much so that their expectations were only that far. So imagine how much that's going to make them feel.
Yeah, exactly.
That gap. So, and that's where, word of mouth comes in, and that's where good value comes in. And I don't know, I think Aussies are big on good value.
Yeah.
So think about that. Ideas, go above and beyond. Offer a better support. Just give a better product. Sometimes it's hard. Like if we're a reseller of this Apple computer, there's only so much margins. And then after that, there's only so much we can do. And everybody can offer the same thing.
Yeah.
But think outside the box. Can you offer a 24-hour hotline? I don't know. Anybody can do anything by thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
So, people people being scared of getting scammed, even though this might seem a little trivial, I think it's important. So in my opinion, and I've got here, be fully transparent.
Yeah.
Show photos. I mean, we go and see clients and we look at their factory and think, wow, this is like, we could eat off the ground. That's how clean it is.
Yeah.
And it's just presented really well, and the attention to detail, how much they go into wrapping the products and make sure that they label it correctly.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get this on camera.
Yeah,
let's get this in a photo. Let's put it up on the Contact Us.
Yeah.
Let's tell a story. Let's introduce the team, and let's let the team, paint a picture that we are genuine. We're not scammers.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. So people want to feel like they're dealing with real people. So like I said, video can really help. Like you hearing us talk, you could get a sense for the type of people we are.
Yeah.
And there's things like secure logos these days that third-party providers can hand out, and these things make you look more authentic and genuine. Things like this site is protected, hacker-proof, and all this type of thing. There's a lot you can do there.
Yeah.
So this here is an essential component in the formula, the client discovery. The client attraction formula.
Yep.
That we have here at Marketing Lab, and that is basically 7 pillars that reinforces any marketing campaign.
Yeah.
And most agencies that we speak to, they only implement at best 2 to 3 pillars. We've got 7. So if you're struggling, right, to make your marketing work, just a little technical glitch, our videos just stopped, so we've had to restart that again. So basically where I was at is we're at the stage right now where we want to show we want to show potential customers what you could get from implementing these 7 pillars, and we're going to be putting together a webinar that is going to be disclosing all of this.
Yeah.
And until then, you can most certainly reach out to us. There's going to be a link below this video which you can click on, and it's going to go straight to our calendar.
Yep.
You'll either speak to me or Nicholas initially, and then after that we can either come to your factory, come to your store, come to your office, and we can brainstorm. Nicholas can bring together the templates and we can start working through those.
Yeah.
So unless you've got anything to add?
No, not at all. I think we've covered that quite well. But like you said with the pillars, you might have all 7 of them. Yeah. But you might not be enforcing them in much detail. So that's another factor to think about as well.
Correct. Well said. Each of those pillars go into so much detail.
Yeah.
They go deep. And here's the problem. And I say this. The future is in the detail and the niche. I think in the future the businesses that will succeed are the ones that specialize in specific little pockets.
Yeah, niche of niche.
Niche of niche. Yeah. So we're a niche of niche. We work with businesses that struggle with the 1 or 2 pillars that they have implemented, no strategy, no thought, very little communication that they have with agencies, no understanding of their customers, no real sense for agitating people to take actions. That's our niche.
Yeah.
So if that's you, make 2019 great, turn it around, give us a call, hear it for yourself. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a great day.